We'll keep this video short to the point, and the first gem that I will be ranking is going to be the Hellfire Fragment. Hellfire Fragment, in my opinion, for PvE isn't that good. It randomly trigger, and when it does, most likely it won't hit the correct monster that you want to hit. So it goes in C tier for me. Next gem is the Starfire Fragment. I will put this gem in B tier. It is, again, you have no control. When it gets triggered, it could hit the elite, or it could hit some random monster that you did not want it to hit, and the damage that it gives you will get wasted. So it's only basically useful in raids or the challenge rift. Next gem is going to be Spiteful Blood. I will be putting the gem in C tier. You won't be losing HP all that much in a PvE, so this gem will not get triggered all that much for you. Next gem is going to be Frozen Heart. We'll be putting this gem in C tier. Again, outside of the hard content, this gem is not needed in PvE. That's just my opinion. Next gem is going to be the Concentrated Wool, a really good gem in my opinion, and I will be putting this in A tier. You can use the dashes, it will give you some buff, and if anything is between your dash and where you teleport it, it will also deal some damage to them. So a decent gem right there, a really good gem in my opinion. Next gem is going to be Gloom Cask. For PvE, it is one of the strongest gems. You will be utilizing your primary and skills at mostly all the time, and versus some strong enemies, it works good with all classes. Next gem is the Voice Spark. This gem is also really good in PvE, especially if you are using the damage over time setup. Gives you extra range, also gives you some attack speed, so it goes in the A tier. Next gem is the Phoenix Ashes. We'll put this in the trash tier again. My apologies for that. I think 180 for single use of the gem is a bit too much, and you are better off using something else. Next gem is going to be Chipperstone Flesh. I will be putting the gem in B tier because most of the time you might not be utilizing Stun, Fear, or Freeze with your build, and so this gem might not work all that well for your builds, and it is only good versus stronger enemies, and versus the weaker enemies mostly they just die really quickly. And next we have the Howler Call. I will be putting the gem in the C tier. Not the best gem when it comes to focusing on a target that you want to hit. It will randomly go towards any monster on the screen, and so not a great gem. Next we have the Seeping Bile. The damage of this gem isn't that good in PvE, and even if you're using somewhat damage over time build, still it won't be the best gem to use in PvE. That's just my opinion. Next we have the Blessing of the Worthy. Again, no control over this gem. You could get hit from a ranged monster like a bow. In most cases, might not even hit the enemies that you wanted to, especially if you're a ranged class. And that damage reduction you get isn't that big, so it goes in the C tier at least for me. The next gem is going to be Bloodsoaked Jade. Of course, this goes in the S tier as always. Gives you movement speed and damage, so we will be moving on to the next gem, that is going to be the Echoing Shield. Now this gem is going to be depending on how you use it. If you get buffs for having more summons, then this gem is going to be really powerful. There are few classes which get benefit for having more summons, so for them this is going to be really good. But other classes which does not take benefit from that, it isn't going to be that great. And also in the highest challenge rift, the Echoing Shade will be dying very frequently. Same in the hardest difficulty of the raids, which is Gogless. So I don't think putting this higher than the B tier is going to be fair. Unless you really like running with a lot of summons, then it can go up to A tier. At least I think that would be safe, but for the sake of the video I will be putting it in the B tier since we have better options when it comes to the legendary gems, the 5-star legendary gems. The next gem is going to be Bottle Hope, giving us some flat skill cooldown reduction, and you can also increase the duration of the gem. So good for having some more movement speed and damage increase. Next we have the Zwenson Haunting. This gem goes into the trash tier for me. Could be actually C tier, because if you are doing some open world farm, it will actually hit the enemies around and kill them off. So C is what I will put this gem for PvE, but for PvP this is how it was, but we are doing PvE and it goes into the C tier. Then next we have the Roiling Consequence. This gem goes into S tier. You can increase the duration of the gem by having more beneficial duration, and then it will give you some critical headshots and also do explosion damage on the enemy as you hit them and put them on the fire. So a really solid gem. And then we have Hills of Many Rum. This gem goes into the C tier for me. Again, not that great in PvE and would not recommend you guys using it. It is quite bad at the early rank of the gem. The talent isn't strong. Next we have the Stormvault. This gem isn't all that bad, especially if you combine it with the Roiling Consequence. It can create a firestorm and can do quite a lot of damage, but for the sake of the video we will be putting it in the B tier because you have no control over this gem. Either it will trigger on random enemies and try to move forward to more enemies, dealing damage to them. Next we have the Maw of the Deep. This gem goes into A tier for me because in PvE it can break the armor and it can be really solid versus some harder content like the Challenge Rift or the Raids, where breaking the armor is really good, better than the Starfire Shard. That is my opinion. And you will also able to gather enemies. It will be helpful in Challenge Rift and some harder content. So I will put the gem in the A tier. Next we have the Wulfheort, the last gem. Really good gem. The faster you use your skills and damage the enemies with the primary, the faster it will trigger. You can also increase the duration of the gem, can get some attack speed bonus from it, and deal some really nice damage, more damage than any other gem like the Seeping Bile, and even Starfire Shard does not come closer to this. You can get a lot of damage out of Wulfheort. So this is how my PvE list looks. This is just my opinion and not a fact, and of course you can move the gems around and let me know in the comment section down below how would you guys rate some of these gems differently. I'm signing off. See you all in the next one. You guys have a great day. Later.